His calls come as Israel vowed to escalate its response to an attack by Hamas with a ground offensive after Israeli fighter jets struck more than 200 targets in Gaza City overnight on Wednesday.
Saudi Arabia has issued a stern warning to the United States, urging it to halt any Israeli action with potential consequences. But what led to Saudi Arabia's warning to the U.S. regarding Israel's actions? And how does this warning reflect the geopolitical complexities in the Middle East? In the turbulent landscape of international politics, Saudi Arabia has sounded a clarion call of caution, urging the United States to consider the ominous repercussions of an Israeli ground incursion into Gaza. This warning, issued by Saudi officials, is no mere diplomatic formality. It carries the weight of a profound concern for the stability and lives of the entire Middle East. As we delve into the intricacies of this urgent message, one thing becomes abundantly clear. Saudi leaders are acutely aware of the devastating consequences that an Israeli ground operation could unleash upon the region. This isn't a mere geopolitical chess move. It's a genuine plea for sanity amidst escalating tensions. Saudi officials are not accustomed to raising their voices in such a manner. Their emphasis on averting a ground operation in Gaza serves as a testament to the gravity of the situation. They see a bleak trajectory marked by instability and loss of life, and they are determined to halt it. In the face of these grave concerns, Saudi Arabia seeks not just to protect its interests, but to shield the Middle East from a potential catastrophe. It's not about taking sides. It's about averting disaster. Such a ground incursion could send shockwaves rippling across an already fragile region, adding to the complexities of an already complicated geopolitical puzzle. This warning is not a mere diplomatic whisper. It's a loud cry, resonating with those who understand the region's intricate dynamics. The potential loss of life and the perilous balance of power in the Middle East are at stake. It's crucial to recognize the urgency in Saudi Arabia's message and the stark realities they are attempting to convey. In a region where tensions and conflicts have persisted for generations, their plea is a call for wisdom and restraint. It's a call for preserving the precarious stability that still lingers. In an arena where words are often overshadowed by actions, the Saudi warning should be seen as a moment of lucidity, a pause before a perilous leap. The world would do well to heed this call, to consider the cost of any further escalations, and to reflect on the imperative of preserving peace in the Middle East. Saudi Arabia's concerns are not only an expression of self-interest, but also an appeal to humanity's collective responsibility for peace. They invite a broader dialogue rooted in the understanding that beyond geopolitical gains or losses, lives hang in the balance. The recent conversation between 10 U.S. senators, spearheaded by Senator Richard Blumenthal and Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman of Saudi Arabia, has brought to the forefront the gravity of Saudi concerns regarding a possible Israeli incursion. This high-level meeting, involving notable figures, shed light on the depth of worry shared by Saudi Arabia's senior officials. The discussions, shrouded in diplomatic nuance, laid bare the fears and apprehensions surrounding a potential Israeli invasion. The Saudi officials, in their dialogues with American counterparts, reiterated these concerns in various iterations, emphasizing the catastrophic consequences an Israeli ground operation might unleash upon the Middle East's delicate stability. In the world of geopolitics, such dialogues between significant players are not mere ceremonial gestures. They hold the potential to sway decisions, alter courses, and avert crisis. The gravity of the matter discussed between the American senators and the Crown Prince was as serious as it gets in international relations. The depth of these concerns was evident in the urgent tone of these conversations. They weren't just diplomatic maneuvers, but a sincere plea for restraint in an already tumultuous region. The warnings were not merely casual musings, but poignant expressions of genuine apprehension delivered through these discreet but high-stakes interactions. The significance of these discussions reverberates across global political landscapes. It highlights the intricate balance of power and the delicate diplomacy that underpins the stability of the Middle East. The exchange underscores the interwoven interests and shared concerns of both nations. transcending mere strategic alliances. By bringing these concerns to the table, the Saudi officials emphasized the need for a prudent and measured approach, hinting at the potential destabilization an Israeli invasion could trigger. The conversations weren't just about safeguarding their interests, but were underscored by a shared recognition of the catastrophic implications of a further escalation in the region. As the senators and the crown prince exchanged perspectives, they maneuvered through the intricate web of diplomatic language and strategy. Each word spoken carried the weight of the entire region's stability and lives, making these conversations a pivotal moment in the ongoing saga of the Middle East's delicate geopolitics. Now, let's delve into the tensions escalating from the Gaza Strip. The recent hostilities began when Hamas, the militant Palestinian group controlling Gaza, launched an attack on Israel, leading to a series of Israeli retaliations, including a blockade and bombardment of the enclave. The situation has rapidly deteriorated, causing severe shortages of vital resources such as water and fuel in Gaza. Israel's response to the Hamas attack, which targeted Israel on October 7th, triggered a cycle of conflict that intensified the conditions for civilians in the Gaza Strip. The resulting siege and bombardment have exacerbated an already challenging situation for the residents, making access to basic necessities increasingly scarce. The ongoing violence has further strained the living conditions of the population, leaving them grappling with limited essential supplies and threatening their overall well-being. This sequence of events has escalated tensions not only within the Gaza Strip, but also in the broader region, heightening concerns about the potential ramifications of the conflict on stability and humanitarian conditions. The repercussions of this situation extend beyond the immediate areas affected, casting a shadow over the entire region. The blockade and bombardment, coupled with the scarcity of fundamental resources, have highlighted the urgent need for de-escalation and the initiation of diplomatic efforts to resolve the conflict. The growing humanitarian crisis demands attention and intervention to mitigate the suffering and ensure the provision of essential resources to the affected population. These escalating tensions serve as a stark reminder of the fragile state of affairs in the region, underlining the necessity for swift action to quell the hostilities, address the pressing humanitarian needs, and chart a path towards sustainable peace. The hope remains that a resolution can be achieved to alleviate the suffering and precarious situation faced by the civilians caught in the midst of this conflict. If you are watching this video till now, then make sure to like this video and so subscribe to the channel for more content like this. The United States has long been a staunch supporter of Israel's right to self-defense. This unwavering support was reiterated after an attack by Hamas on Israel, which resulted in severe repercussions, including Israeli airstrikes and a blockade of the Gaza Strip. However, amidst this support, the U.S. has taken a cautious stance, urging Israel to hold off on a potential ground invasion. President Biden and other U.S. officials have advocated for a postponement of any invasion, citing several critical reasons. These include creating space for hostage negotiations, ensuring more humanitarian aid can reach the affected areas, and improving strategies for waging the conflict. Despite a strong backing for Israel's right to protect itself, the U.S. leadership has sought to manage the situation in a way that minimizes further conflict escalation and loss of life. This delicate diplomatic approach has been undertaken in an effort to navigate the crisis in a more balanced manner, mitigating the immediate crisis while working towards a sustainable resolution. President Biden has actively engaged with Israel, encouraging a strategic pause in their response to the conflict. These diplomatic efforts align with a broader strategy focused on maintaining stability in the region. The U.S. has emphasized the importance of pursuing diplomatic avenues to curtail the conflict's expansion, emphasizing the significance of broader peace-building efforts in the region. This balanced approach illustrates the U.S.'s commitment to supporting Israel's right to self-defense while urging caution to prevent a potential ground invasion. The aim is not only to address the immediate crisis, but also to promote a more enduring peace in the region. It underscores a nuanced foreign policy that seeks to protect the interests of all parties involved while striving to achieve a resolution that minimizes the impact on civilian lives and regional stability. The geopolitical landscape in the Middle East has been undergoing a gradual transformation marked by significant discussions between U.S. and Saudi officials. A noteworthy aspect of these talks was the exploration of a potential normalization agreement between Saudi Arabia and Israel. Traditionally, Arab nations, including Saudi Arabia, have adhered to the stance of refraining from establishing diplomatic relations with Israel until the establishment of a Palestinian state. However, this steadfast position has been subject to a re-evaluation in recent years. The landscape of regional politics has evolved, and countries in the Middle East are starting to consider altering their approach towards Israel due to the potential economic and security advantages that could be gained from establishing relations. The emerging dialogue between U.S. and Saudi officials underlines this fundamental shift in the region's geopolitical dynamics. The talks between the U.S. and Saudi Arabia regarding the possibility of normalizing ties with Israel represent a departure from the traditional Arab standpoint. Such discussions suggest a recalibration in the way the Middle Eastern nations perceive their relationships and interactions with Israel. This shift signifies a re-evaluation of the long-standing geopolitical status quo. The potential normalization discussions represent a significant departure from historical norms and mark a transformation in diplomatic relations and regional geopolitics. The exploration of this possibility signifies a potential strategic reorientation for the region, indicating a shift in focus from long-held, entrenched views to a more pragmatic approach based on security and economic considerations. The evolving conversations between these influential nations are indicative of a changing paradigm in the geopolitics of the Middle East. It signals a departure from entrenched ideologies towards a more pragmatic and nuanced approach to regional diplomacy. As these discussions continue, the implications of this potential geopolitical shift are likely to have far-reaching consequences for the region's dynamics and relations. The looming threat of an Israeli ground invasion into Gaza has raised significant apprehensions regarding the potential fallout, extending beyond the immediate conflict zone. Experts and regional officials have expressed deep concerns about the far-reaching repercussions such a move might catalyze, affecting not just the immediate conflict zone but also regional stability. Should an Israeli invasion transpire, there is a fear that it could instigate a dangerous cycle of violence and extremism. The fallout might not confine itself solely to the borders of Gaza, but could spread its influence into neighboring countries, such as Bahrain, Egypt, and Jordan. These nations are already grappling with internal challenges, whether economic hardships or political repression, and could be further destabilized by the repercussions of an escalated conflict. The involvement of Iran-backed factions in response to an Israeli invasion raises the specter of a broader regional entanglement. Historically supportive of groups like Hamas, Iran has indicated its readiness to open new fronts in the conflict based on Israel's military actions. This has the potential to exacerbate instability across the Middle East and could result in an even more complex and multi-dimensional conflict. The implications of an Israeli invasion stretch far beyond the borders of Gaza, with the potential to escalate the situation into a regional crisis. The fear of further radicalization, the intensification of violence, and the possible involvement of external actors underscore the gravity of the situation and its potential to disrupt the delicate balance of power in the Middle East. Given the fragile state of various neighboring nations and the existing internal challenges they face, an Israeli invasion could amplify existing tensions, exacerbate instability, and have a far-reaching impact on the entire region. This scenario raises concerns not just about the immediate conflict, but also the potential for a wider, more devastating ripple effect across the Middle East. Don't forget to like the video and also subscribe to the channel. Meanwhile, thanks for watching.